This past summer, I had an amazing opportunity to visit the western part of the United States. For the first part of my trip, I spent a day touring and a day in Salt Lake City, Utah with my dad, and over that time we got to see some really cool things. The first of which was the Energy Solutions Arena, home of the Utah Jazz. This building opened in 1991. Being able to walk around this building with my dad was very special because my dad loved sports growing up, and he's passed that on to me, and that's really influenced my love and my excitement for so many sports as well. Being able to walk around the stadium was neat because I like to think of the history that took place in the Energy Solutions Arena, including Michael Jordan's shot in the 1998 NBA Finals to beat the Jazz. While the Jazz have been playing in the Energy Solutions Arena, they've been one of the more consistent teams with 13 playoff appearances over the last 16 years. Here's my dad's perspective of the trip.
I thoroughly enjoyed the trip out west with my son Andrew. Probably my favorite thing that we did was when we got a rental car and we drove across 4 different states. We started in Utah where we picked up the rental car, and I was impressed with the mountains and the scenes of water. Next we went to Wyoming, and it was impressive how flat this part of the country is. From there we moved on to Idaho, which was impressive from the standpoint of the vast areas of farmland. And then we concluded our trip in Nevada, which showed stark vistas of deserts. This entire trip was quite an experience, as it also allowed for us to talk about many things that are important to college and to life.
The next site that we got to visit was the Mormon Temple. Here's a look at the interior of the Salt Lake Tabernacle, home of the world-famous Mormon Tabernacle Choir. This dome-shaped auditorium consists of one of the world's great musical instruments, a magnificent pipe organ with 11,623 pipes. Here's a model of the Salt Lake Temple. Now, while my dad and I were actually touring the temple, we couldn't go in it. Only members of the church are allowed in the temple, but we got to take a look at this figure. Some cool facts about the Salt Lake Temple. It was constructed over a period of 40 years, from 1853 to 1893. It's sacred to the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and there are over 100 temples worldwide where church members gather to worship. Here's some shots of the exterior of the temple, and the architecture of this building is quite fascinating. For the next part of my trip, I spent 5 days in California with my mom. The first of several sites that we got to see was AT&T Park, home of the San Francisco Giants. AT&T Park opened in 2000. It was the site of the 2007 MLB All-Star Game. And over the last 6 years while the Giants have been playing here, they have won 3 World Series championships. AT&T Park has seen several historic landmark events, including Barry Bonds hitting his 500th, 600th, and 700th home run, all at AT&T Park. As we headed towards our next destination, we got to travel over the Golden Gate Bridge, which was very fascinating. And that next destination was Muir Woods. Muir Woods was established in 1908. The park is very cool, shaded, and moist all year because of summer coastal fog and winter storms. Daytime temperatures average between 40 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. An interesting fact to note about Muir Woods is that it contains one of 2 redwood species in the United States, the coast redwood. The coast redwood grows along the northern California coastline. The other type of redwood is the Sierra redwood, which grows in the eastern mountains of California. Now, Muir Woods only has the coast redwood, so being able to see that was really cool. When my mom first visited Muir Woods in 2005, she loved it and thought I would too, and she was sure right about that. The next place that we got to visit was the Jelly Belly factory. Here's a portrait of Ronald Reagan that consists of over 10,000 Jelly Belly beans. Here's some cool facts about Jelly Belly beans. It takes 7 to 21 days to make a single Jelly Belly bean. The original 8 flavors of jelly beans introduced in 1976 were berry cherry, root beer, cream soda, tangerine, green apple, lemon, licorice, and grape. Berry cherry is the most popular. Here is my mom's perspective of the trip.
We spent 4th of July in Northern California with our great friends. It was fun to see a small town called Clayton celebrate the 4th of July. It was a warm and friendly place where everybody knew each other. The American flag was flying in its bright colors of red, white, and blue, and there was a great parade which honored veterans in our armed forces, in addition to having lots of really neat antique cars driving by, ice cream for the kids. Pets were involved in the parade. It was a really neat thing. We don't have anything like that in Washington, D.C., so it was a really unique event to see this small town celebrating the 4th of July. Finally, we saw the fireworks on the little hills behind our friend's house, and at one point we were overlooking 6 little towns at the same time watching fireworks. And just the beautiful golden colors against the blue sky and the setting sun, making it pink and blue all at the same time with the gorgeous golden colors, was something I'll never forget. It was just a beautiful sight and a great way to end the 4th of July.
The next place that we got to visit was the Oakland County Coliseum, home of the Oakland Athletics and the Oakland Raiders. The Coliseum opened in 1966. The A's played their first game there in 1968. Now, being able to see an MLB game in this stadium with my mom was very special because when I first started playing baseball in high school, my mom was my biggest supporter, and she encouraged me to go after it and to give it my best in everything I did. And so being able to see a baseball game in this stadium that we've never been to before is something that we'll certainly remember for a very long time. And these fans in Oakland are very passionate about both the Athletics and the Raiders. It's hard to find another city that has more committed fans than what we see in Oakland, with the commitment that these fans have to the Athletics and the Raiders. Here's a look at Oracle Arena, home of the NBA defending champion Golden State Warriors. Oracle Arena opened in 1966, the same year as the Oakland Coliseum. It's one of the oldest arenas in the NBA, and as a matter of fact, it underwent a massive renovation project in 1996 where the interior was completely renovated and redesigned. This past year, the Warriors went 48-4 while playing in Oracle Arena as they claimed their first NBA championship since 1975.